This movie begins with an explanation of who the crazy people of the jungle are, the heroes who quickly come to save the day upon hearing the call. They are Morris, Junior, Gilbert, Patricia, and finally, Miguel. We see them presenting their work to the kids, very proud of Gilbert's efforts. However, at that time, Ali, Bob, and their friends disagreed with the drawings, thinking they were drawn too small. So they soon finished the show and sent the boys to sleep. The boys think that the crazy people from the jungle are great, but not the YIB, who are not even part of the group. At night, when the boys go to sleep, Junior talks to Patrice and Gilbert together. He asks Morris when he will have a girlfriend, but Morris tells him that he doesn't have time for this since he is a hero and they are just going to rest. At the same time, we notice a few small planes passing over the jungle, leaving pink dust falling everywhere. At dawn, one of them tells the crazy people in the jungle that something strange is happening because when he goes to throw the water, it explodes. So he wants to show them, while the others think he is joking. However, at that moment, Gilbert notices the pink dust and tells the others. He knows who did it because a long time ago, he saw a show by a scientist named Albert who used this pink powder in his presentations. Gilbert shows them that with just a little liquid, he can make the powder explode. Meanwhile, unintentionally, the others also set an example. However, the worst thing is that they know that when the rains come, the whole jungle will disappear. Then Gilbert tells them that it has been a long time since it was Albert, but he knows someone who might know, called Camilla, who is none other than the daughter. Albert, on the other hand, meets the mastermind behind everything, known as the boss, and informs his henchmen Yuri and Coco that there are only a few days left until the rain arrives. He instructs them to handle it so that the jungle's inhabitants don't locate him. Meanwhile, the crazy jungle folk are en route and believe they'll arrive in time with Camilla. Elsewhere, we meet Camilla navigating through icy terrain. Simultaneously, the boss's henchmen intercept the hero's hot air balloon, forcing them to release weight. They discover Al and B hiding, considering themselves part of the group. They propose to join as apprentices, which is accepted happily. But the balloon suddenly gets a big hole, leading to an emergency landing. Camilla discovers a sacred amulet and absent-mindedly takes it, triggering the being's awakening. The villains chase her, but she confronts them, impressing the jungle dwellers with her skills. Maurice falls for her instantly and learns she aimed to free the rabbit town from thieves who stole their amulet. She updates them on her situation, revealing she hasn't seen her father in a long time. Despite this, they plan to assist her and set off, while the boss's henchmen begin laying traps. Alabo realizes the danger and tries to intervene, arriving just in time. However, their voices unintentionally trigger an avalanche, forcing them to flee. Maurice ends up on a piece of floating ice. Meanwhile, the kidnappers report the events, and Maurice suggests using it to locate Albert faster, glancing at Camilla discreetly. Natasha and the other heroes stay in the jungle to protect themselves from the dust. The days go by, but the boys don't get anywhere, and they notice that the ice is starting to melt. Then the henchmen report this. At that moment, they see land nearby and mention that there could be bananas there. Miguel makes sure they go at full speed. However, they realize that they reach a large desert, where they walk for a while until they arrive at some palm trees. Unfortunately, the henchmen put something in the little water that is left there. Al and Bob realize this and quickly go to tell the others. The henchmen forgot to fill their water bottles before, so they put the antidote in the water and fill their bottles. but they are unable to put the poison back in, since they realize that the heroes have arrived. Alabo tries to stop them by explaining everything they saw. However, it seems that no one pays attention to them, and they dismiss Alib Ba. Meanwhile, Camilla discovers a message from her father, revealing that he moved from place to place. She continues on her journey, always followed by the henchmen. The boys spend some time following the directions, and come across a panda. The panda, in a fierce style, confronts them, but Maris manages to hit it, revealing that it is a bamboo robot. Camilla delivers the final blow, defeating it. They realize that the robot was Albert's. Albert is more concerned with improving his robot than realizing his daughter is there. He invites them to his home. Meanwhile, the boss has many workers, and a beaver seems to come out of a trance, but the boss soon incites it to work again. Returning to Camilla, her father recognizes her after a closer look. A memory from her past reveals that her inventions, especially the pink powder, affected her. Albert got rid of all his inventions and left, unable to deal with the consequences. Albert thought he was worthy of taking care of Camilla, so he tells her about what is happening in the jungle, and mentions that there could be an antidote for El Puo Rosado. However, it needs an ingredient that is very difficult to obtain. They soon set off to find it, and arrive at a village where the villagers use plants to make cheese, and the leftover rennet is the ingredient they need. Unfortunately, the villagers are not very friendly, and have great guardians. Luckily, Gilbert thinks of a mechanism that projects a short film on a loop to distract the guardians. They manage to infiltrate, but another dog finds them. Juno quickly takes care of it, and they divide up to find the ingredient faster. Morris sees the villagers performing a ritual for new members, while Miguel finds the cheeses and is fascinated. Albert distributes the guitars with a ball, while Bati enters and takes the way. However, the ball reaches Miguel, and the dogs discover this, activating the alarm. A chase ensues in pure Pac-Man style, but they manage to escape. Gilbert's short film trap also works on the other villagers, allowing the boys to escape safely. They realize they won't reach the jungle in time, since it's on the other side of the world. Albert then tells them about an elevator he built that crosses the entire Earth. They quickly head to the elevator, but in the middle of the journey, the Dry Ones take away the serum. Fortunately, they manage to catch the Dry Ones, who confess the truth. They work for a boss named Henry, who lives in the mountains. Al and Bob were right about being followed. They reach the elevator and begin to descend, but it's going very slowly. Miguel turns it on turbo, and in the blink of an eye, they arrive at their destination. However, more challenges await them. Albert says there seems to be no way out, while Alva tells them he just remembered that he hadn't finished his project yet, so they know that everything is lost. Coco manages to escape and goes to Henry, telling him everything that happened. Henry is just waiting for the rain to arrive. Meanwhile, Maurice wants to finally confess to Camilla what he feels for her, but his friends tell him that it seems like Camilla doesn't feel the same way. Maurice believes they are right, but decides to try anyway. He approaches her and confesses his feelings, discovering that she also felt the same way since she met him, but often thought he wasn't interested in her. Albert believes they make a good couple. At that moment, Miguel realizes that the jungle will not be saved, and consequently, there will be no more bananas left, so he becomes determined. The boys arrive at a laboratory, and Albert begins to make his antidote. They're soon ready to save the day and infiltrate Henry's lair. They notice that he has beavers making tents. However, they are discovered and soon surrounded. Henry reveals his plan to destroy the entire jungle to sell everyone his tents. Albert doesn't understand how Henry duplicated his invention, since he clearly remembers destroying it. Henry confesses that one day he saw Albert's show and wanted to steal a bottle with the formula. At that moment, Camilla found it and destroyed part of the steps. In the chaos, Camilla ended up with her hand full of pink dust, which she tried to wash off, resulting in her losing her hand. Furthermore, Henry confesses that he was submissive to Gilbert, who, being the most intelligent of all, helped him recreate the formula and win an award without knowing what he had recreated. However, Maurice tells him that he won't get his way. Soon, a confrontation begins. Outside, they realize that the rain is starting to approach, and Natasha wants it to. Everyone evacuates while Albert puts the antidote in Henry's containers. At that moment, a gigantic beaver appears, causing problems. Maurice and Camilla join forces to fight it, while the others load the planes to disperse the formula. Henry closes the doors and tries to control them, but some beavers who have snapped out of their trance destroy his staff. Maurice and Camilla manage to defeat the Mega Beaver, while Gilbert figures out how to open the doors. The animals, believing the jungle is lost, soon see the planes arrive, dispersing the antidote and saving the jungle. Thanks to this, they manage to save their home. The boys enjoy the place while Miguel prepares food with the cheese he had stolen. Maurice and Camilla finally have time for themselves. The end credits roll with the characters commenting on their version of the story, where they accompanied the jungle inhabitants around the world, helped them with the avalanche, faced the robotic panda, pushed the ice boat, and defeated Henry and his Mega Beaver. They humorously claim they saved the jungle themselves. Now that's the end. If you liked the video, here are some more recommendations. Have an excellent day.